Hello everyone and welcome back to CJ's Plants, and in this video I will be giving you guys a garden tour. This video was recorded on December 29th, 2024, and that's for future reference. Okay, so we're gonna start out in the front yard, and what you see in front of you is a coconut palm, and then to the left of it are Okinawan sweet potatoes. And then this is a bush. I'm not sure what variety it is. And then as we walk around over here, this is a plumeria. And then this is another bush. And then there's also another Okinawan sweet potato plant over here. And then this plant over here is a Moringa stenopetala. This thing has grown huge, it has grown super fast, and it has a very, very thick trunk. And I think this is only about 2 to 3 years old. So this thing has grown super fast. You can even see that it's kind of brought up the ground. I'm actually planning on digging this up and planting it in the backyard. More on that later on. So I'm just going to show you the full tree. It's pretty large. It has flowered this year. So I just wanted to give a good look at it. So there it is. Alright, and then next up is this magnolia tree. Nothing too much to show here. And then as we make our way over here, this is what I call the desert section of my yard. There's a bunch of succulent, drought-resistant plants here, such as this aloe vera, more aloe vera, desert rose. There's a ponytail palm, other kinds of succulents, dragon fruit, and other kind of cacti. And yeah, I'm just gonna show you all of the drought-resistant plants. So this is actually a dragon fruit right over here. And then here is I think it's more of a water holding kind of plant. Then here's a cacti. A cactus. And then some another cactus over here. Some vinca. My largest dragon fruit right over here. This is all one plant over here. And then to the right of that is another dragon fruit. It's more aloe vera. And yeah, I didn't name some of the plants over here, but yes, I just wanted to show just so I could see it in the future. And then here's also some Pele's hair hanging from the magnolia tree. Okay. So as we move on over here, there's a prickly pear cactus and some Okinawan sweet potato around it. And then let's make our way to the backyard. So here's a mini tea leaf. Here are some, I like to call them unknown Filipino vegetables because, well, I don't actually know where they originated from. And I'm pretty sure they are more associated with Filipino cuisine. I would assume. I'm not actually sure about that. And then it's kind of worthy to note that there's a guava tree that I think it's more my neighbor's tree, but it kind of hangs over and yeah, onto our yard. Alright, and as we move on, here is a decorative taro. Here are some palms. Then here is another what I call the unknown Filipino vegetable. It's very tall, just like the other one, which is, I think, a little taller. Here, let's see. So as you can see, this one is also very, very tall. And then, as we move on, past this plant, there's this palm over here. And then this is my 125-gallon kind of natural pond. So I have some black skirt tetras, a few neon tetras, one black neon tetra. I have some, I think, minnow fish that I caught from the Aloi. I have some guppies. I believe I have some wild mollies, yeah, from the Aloi as well. And I have some Dalmatian mollies. I believe some red platies. And yeah, by far the biggest attraction definitely has to be the goldfish. Unfortunately, none of them are coming out right now. But yeah, there are some goldfish in here. And there's some duckweed, water lettuce, and water hyacinth. Alright. I also filled a bunch of soil around here in order to make it look more natural and to kind of seamlessly match it to the ground. There's a green tea leaf. Oh, and I also planted grass around this thing. That way, so it could stabilize all of the soil. Here is my horseradish. It was once I think it's like my 7 or 8 year old horseradish. Yeah, it's not doing as well. Then here's kind of my orchid section. Nothing too much to see here. But yeah, it just consists of the orchids that I have here. And then here's the bottom shelf. Also has some orchids. And there's also some succulents growing out of it too. Mainly this one. Alright, let's continue to move to the backyard. So this is I call it the unknown berry tree because it produces berries and I don't know what species it is. I have some more coconut palms over here. I have a grapevine right over here. It's kind of growing onto this clothesline and also onto this tree. There's a bunch of Pele's hair over here. There are some air plants. And there are just a few beans that are growing up into this tree. So here's another look at the palms. There's my Monstera deliciosa. I have some cuttings of a Song of India and some ferns. Nothing too much to see in this little corridor down here. And there's another palm. And then I also have an orchid attached to this tree. So this is kind of my experimental orchid to see how good can an orchid grow in a tree here. And then as I move over here, I have this is my goldfish pond. There's some fancy, this has fancy goldfish and some veil tail / longer tail goldfish. And there are also some guppies. There's also some Anubias barteri and there's a bunch of algae. And then over here this is my other pond. Okay, by the way, this is my 100-gallon pond. This is my 169-gallon pond. There are some guppies in here. Recently, one of them just gave birth to fry. And this has my one koi. We named him Gold Rush because he's a little gold. And there's a show called Gold Rush. There's also some Anubias barteri and that fake plant in there. And then giving the pond shade is the Hawaiian state flower. And then some, I believe, red and green tea leaves. And then there's some coconut palms in pots to further give this pond a bunch of shade. All right, and then over here is my vanilla plant. There is a variegated vanilla, kind of just barely holding on right here, as you can see with the leaves. And then here's some of my lucky bamboo. And here's another look at the palms and the tea leaves. And then let's move over here. So this is a Song of India tree. I did not plant this, but I'm gonna show you the whole tree. And then this used to be where a poinsettia used to be, but it unfortunately died. And then as you move through here, I'll show you all the fruit trees. So this is a fig. This is a fig. This is also a fig. This is I believe a Christmas tree palm. It is several years old. Here are some of the Christmas tree palms seedlings. There are some more Song of India cuttings, and this is a unknown Filipino vegetable plant. There are some more palms, Christmas tree palms, growing under here. And as we move into the main part of the garden, as I like to call it, this is a soursop. This is a prickly pear, and they're prickly pear cactus, and there's a crown flower right next to it. This is a coconut palm. This is an olive plant / olive tree. Here are some cool little succulents. This is another succulent. Here's some more unknown Filipino vegetables. And then there's one right over here. This is not my desert rose, but this is one that was growing here. And it is going to produce some seeds. Here is my previous sweet potato patch, which is not doing so well. So there's Okinawan sweet potatoes, some other sweet potatoes, I'm not sure what the variety is. And then there's this cactus. There's some hyacinth beans. Here are some croutons. There are some more unknown Filipino vegetables that are growing all along this, with some pigeon beans behind them, which are, as of right now, producing beans. This is an avocado, and as you can see, yes, they are in fact producing beans. So this patch has really been decimated by drought. And then also the papaya tree that was once previously here, unfortunately died. And then let's make our way over here, out of the sweet potato patch. This is my ice cream banana. So the main stalk that had been producing bananas fell over because of the wind, and I had to chop it. Now, although the bananas were underdeveloped, some of them, they actually still ripened and they actually tasted pretty good. So that was definitely a win. So I'm just showing you the banana as of right now. So this hole over here you see, and all these pots of soil, are for the moringa tree, the Moringa stenopetala that I showed in the front of the yard that I was gonna plant here in the backyard. All right, and then this is my guava tree. Looks pretty good. So you see these kind of soil formations around some of my trees? Those are swales. I have them there so I can put water to these plants. So I can pour water to these plants, and even when it rains, it can collect water and it can soak into the soil rather than just running off the landscape. This is a pomegranate. This is a bean. Not sure what it is. This is a moringa. This is a moringa stenopetala. This is another pigeon bean. This is a moringa. This is a citrus. This is a mango. Then another moringa. This is an avocado tree behind it. A starfruit. And then another moringa back there. A rosemary. Some more pigeon beans, which are producing beans as of right now. You can kind of see them behind the moringas. And then here is a continuation of the wall of pigeon beans and unknown Filipino vegetables, just from a different angle. Alright, and as we move down here, here are some lemongrass plants and a moringa tree growing out of them. There are also whatever these plants are. And then over here is my sugar cane. So they also look pretty good. This is my starfruit tree. Kind of hasn't really grown that much over the past few years. And then these are a bunch of my fruit trees in pots, and there's also some ornamental plants, as well as, well, I'll call them miscellaneous because I'm not sure what category to put them in. But it basically there's just some pigeon beans, whatever this bean is, avocados, some unknown Filipino vegetables, some coconuts, mangoes, I believe, hyacinth beans, I believe they're called, more mangoes. And then this is my oldest and largest Moringa oleifera tree. I just recently trimmed it, so it's starting to grow back. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna give you a good look at all of the plants that are in pots over here. And there's also some, I believe they're called longans, right over there. And yeah, there's also some Song of India cuttings over there, and this water holding plant. All right, let's move on. Oh wait, also there's some purple asparagus. Here are some soursop plants. And then over here, these are my asparagus. This one I believe to be, these are both green asparagus. I believe this one to be male and this one to be female because it produced some fruits, which are not actually on it anymore. But yeah, it did produce fruits. This is my avocado tree, my oldest one that I ended up planting in the ground. This is also an avocado tree right over here. I did not plant this, it was originally in the ground. There's my compost bin. There's some sugarcane that didn't make it. This was already here. So this is a pomelo and jabong tree. These are remnants of an old compost pile. This is a monstera. And this is the backside of the Pele's hair that I showed at the beginning, or kind of more near the beginning of the tour. So here's a bunch of Pele's hair on this unknown berry tree. There's a grapevine going through here. There's tons of air plants. And yeah, here's another look at the at this tree. Super hard to get the entire thing even in 0.5, but there you have it. The entirety of the tree. Here, I think this is called a staghorn. And then there's whatever these air plants are. And there's this air plant which flowered. They're the remnants of those, but it looked super cool. There used to be an orchid here. There also used to be one here, I think over here, but there's this one that's surviving. And here's kind of more the backside of these other plants. There's the mountain apple right there, and then there's some more plants over here. And then, oh yeah, there's a dragon fruit that's growing over here. I completely forgot about this one. Yeah, I planted this in the ground, and it's doing quite well. Alright, I think that will be all for this garden tour. If you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.